You know, if we do get that September Nintendo Direct and those Zelda games are there, I think we're gonna have to celebrate by playing Wind Waker on stream sometime during that week. Which, speaking of GameCube games, there are a ton of GameCube games that I personally can think of that I would want on the Nintendo Switch. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Colosseum for one, definitely. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, of course, and Twilight Princess, but other than those Zelda games, Star Fox Adventures, Mario Kart Double Dash, which, let's be honest here, fat chance they're gonna keep milking Mario Kart 8, but it would be really cool. And of course, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Make sure you guys tell me what GameCube games you guys want to see in the comment section below. I just think it would be really cool to be able to play these GameCube games on the go without having to buy a whole new device. And that is basically what we are going to talk about today, and the September Nintendo Direct update as well. Because as I finished that video, we also had more information on the exact date for that September Nintendo Direct. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, it helps the video, and of course subscribe for more news, rumors, and leaks. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is roborob93. Without further delay, let's talk about some Nintendo stuff. So recently, the September Nintendo Direct leaks and rumors and so on have been popping up. About 1 month ago, I made a video talking about this and that I think there is going to be a September Nintendo Direct, and more insiders were going to come out and say that yes, there is going to be a September Nintendo Direct. And I was pretty much spot on. It happens all the time. More than likely, around February of 2023, people are going to say there's going to be a February Nintendo Direct. Now, as more of Nintendo's marketing appears, it changes my personal theories on what they could be shown and when they could show these September Nintendo Directs and February Directs and so on. So I made another video with some more dates and changed theories on what we could see and what we're gonna see. And I said that yeah, we are probably gonna get a September Nintendo Direct, and that's exactly what's probably gonna happen. I also talked about the Zelda games and Jeff Grubb's words on the Zelda ports and Metroid Prime 1 coming to the Nintendo Switch. The reason why I'm mentioning all of these is that there are some new updates on these stories and further development in the information that they gave us. And this information could possibly be fake as well. Remember that can always happen. So first off, let's talk about the Nintendo Direct words by Jeff Grubb and discuss those, and then we will talk about the GameCube stuff. Games Beat manager, editor Mike, and Giant Bomb reporter Jeff Grubb are once again sharing their insider info, and they say that a Nintendo Direct is indeed sometime during the week of September 12th, 2022. Furthermore, it seems that the Direct is going to share some Zelda information. While you might be hoping for Breath of the Wild 2 details, it seems that we'll instead be hearing about a pair of classic Zelda titles. According to Mike, Nintendo will be sharing news on Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports for the Nintendo Switch. Mike stressed that he and Grubb are very sure that this news is going to be shared. And this is the extra stuff that I didn't mention in the last video. Following up on that, Grubb stated that there will be a lot of Zelda stuff coming from this Direct, calling it a Zelda blowout. And this is the little bit of information that is extremely important to this whole situation that I completely missed in the last video. Because calling it a Zelda blowout is something very different than just being two titles. Two titles with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess is not a Zelda blowout. That is just something extra and something, don't get me wrong, really fun and really exciting for me personally, but calling it a Zelda blowout is a lot different than just two titles. Like, this could mean that we're getting the Oracle remakes, this could mean that we're getting a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer with a lot of gameplay. Like, what does this mean? What does a Zelda blowout mean? Assuming that this information is true, I think we can expect the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess games. I think we can expect a trailer for the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and not only that, but I fully believe that a release date and an exact date that we can expect this game to release is gonna be revealed at this Nintendo Direct. Not only that, but I think we are also gonna get one extra Zelda game and maybe even a hint at the next Zelda game after Breath of the Wild 2. A big Zelda blowout is something like the Zelda 35th Anniversary Direct, right? That was a huge Mario blowout. So maybe this is gonna be kind of like a Zelda 35th Anniversary Light, or I guess you wouldn't call it 35th Anniversary because that's over, but you guys know what I mean. Now, before you get too excited, because I personally am getting excited at the thought of a Zelda blowout at the next Nintendo Direct that could happen in the next, 7 days? It could always be fake. That can always happen. But putting that Zelda stuff to the side, they do mention that this could possibly be a mini Nintendo Direct. Now, mini doesn't necessarily mean there won't be big reveals or that it's gonna be a bad show, but it's gonna be smaller than the bigger Nintendo Directs. Now, if we were to take how Nintendo has been marketing and sharing their news and Nintendo Switch titles, the news has been trickling in slowly. From my perspective, it looks like Nintendo wants a steady stream of news over and over again, so Nintendo Switch fans can always have something to look forward to, which is the Nintendo momentum for those who know what I'm talking about. Now, it was my initial thought that we would get a full Nintendo Direct that sets up the first half of 2022. Now, my initial theories were based on everything that was up until last September. But if we jump a little bit further, there was actually a February February Nintendo Direct right after January. So it got me to thinking when they mentioned the mini Nintendo Direct, what if I revise my theory? What if Nintendo is actually gonna pull this September Nintendo Direct and it's gonna be a smaller Direct that sets up the rest of 2022? Maybe we'll get some games in January and February, but nothing past that. And then we get a February Nintendo Direct that sets up some of the first half of 2023 and maybe even some of the second half. And then maybe we get some other Directs in between, and then we get that June E3 Nintendo Direct. Just a little revised theory that I had in my head when I saw that they mentioned mini Nintendo Direct. Now Jeff Grubb does go into more detail about the Zelda games, the Metroid Prime games, and even another game that we haven't talked about at all, and that's Take-Two. I meant It Takes Two. It Takes Two is supposed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch according to these insiders. And they also do mention the GameCube stuff about more GameCube remasters coming as well. This is what they said. A lot of Zelda stuff. Now I said the word blowout, everyone is hyper fixated on that. I don't know what their exact plans are. I suspect it's been intimated to me. This is probably happening that we will probably get the Breath of the Wild 2, and we will also get the ports of the Wii U and HD transfers of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Metroid Prime is also coming out this holiday, so we should get that as well. So that's when we start talking about a lot of remasters, especially a lot of GameCube remasters. Will they theme it around that? We have no idea. It Takes Two will be coming to the Switch. That's one of the games I've heard, yes, and it will be in the Direct. So yeah, there will be a lot in there. It should also be much bigger than the series of stuff Nintendo did throughout the summer when they didn't have a real general Nintendo Direct, so it's exciting and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, as Nintendo Life says, Jeff Grubb is indeed doubling down on his information, and he actually gave us a little bit more information than before. Now GameCube remasters coming to the Nintendo Switch is not really too surprising. Nintendo's been doing this with all of their consoles, Wii U, Wii, GameCube, and so on. I mean heck, we're even getting Game Boy Advance games with the Mega Man Battle Network collection, so it's not really too surprising. But that doesn't mean it's not exciting, it's really exciting. Now the question you really have to ask is, does this affect the Nintendo Switch Online service? Why would Nintendo bring these GameCube games and bring GameCube games to the Nintendo Switch Online service at the same time? Well, for that we can look at the Super Mario 35th Anniversary Collection with Mario 64. Mario 64 is on the Nintendo Switch Online service app, and we also have it in the collection as well, so I don't think those games being on the Nintendo Switch Online service and being GameCube remasters affect each other. I think that even if we do get a couple GameCube remasters here and there are still plenty of GameCube games to be put on the Nintendo Switch Online service, even if they're the same games as the remaster. In fact, I'd say it would make more sense business-wise to have both of them on the Nintendo Switch Online service and remasters as well, because, well, more money. And to round out this video, let's talk about some Nintendo news real quick, with Lost Ark Ultimate Edition getting delayed till October 25th, so people who are interested in that game, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer than that, or than the original release date, I mean. We also have Mario Kart Tour removing the gacha elements from their mobile game, which is kind of interesting because you don't really see that in mobile games. In fact, that's kind of the opposite of what I would think a company would do. And we also have Sessions, which is a skateboard simulator, which is rated in Taiwan for the Nintendo Switch, which more than likely means that we're going to be having it at the Nintendo Direct. Usually when something gets rated in Taiwan, it usually means that it's coming to the Switch very soon, and then it's going to be revealed at a mini Nintendo Direct, or a full Nintendo Direct, or even a indie Nintendo Direct. And that is all the news that I really have for you guys. There really hasn't been much news going on, which is kind of unfortunate. There have been more rumors, in fact, going on than news, which is why you're seeing a lot of news popping up on your feed from my channel. Now, I did do a speed drawing, and if you want to watch that, that will be in the description below or in the pinned comment, one of the two. You can click the top right corner of this video to watch it too if you want. And keep in mind, guys, that this is not from Nintendo, so they could be fake. Always remember that. I think by now we all should keep that in our minds, especially after the whole Switch Pro stuff last year. I enjoy talking and speculating about it, but I also understand that it could just not happen. And with that, I'll leave you with the question: what GameCube games would you like remastered on the Nintendo Switch, and what games do you want to see at the next Nintendo Direct? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other